Hello everybody. Angie here. I am coming on to do a make for you guys doing the crossword collage series here on YouTube. I believe it was created and started by Ruth and Nellie Designs. That's where I first saw it. If this is something that you haven't seen before, that link is in my description box below. But if you have and you enjoy it, I hope you follow along and stay tuned and see what I come up with today. I am just working out of an old crossword puzzle book here, and I am up to collage 20. I went through and dug out everything that I can find, kind of bits and pieces Christmas related. Since we're getting close to Christmas, I thought we'd do a Christmas collage. And I'm gonna try my best to do a 2-page spread on this one. I don't know if I have enough pieces, but we're gonna try and fill it up and make it look pretty, okay? So let's get started. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. And for the most part, you can see both pages. I may be moving it over here and there, but I'll try my best to kind of keep it so you can see both. And I just have some random bits, some vintage papers and ephemera pieces, cutouts, just some different pieces that I've collected over time. And yeah, let's see what we could come up with. I thought we'd start with the base, and I have a couple of red and a couple green, and it's almost the size, oh, upside down, to fit right in here. So maybe we can do a red on one side and a green on the other kind of thing, and go from there. Okay, let's try that. I'm going to trim these down just a little bit, so I have to bring my guillotine up for a quick second. And I'd say maybe 1/4 of an inch or so, not much. We'll just go to even 7.5 across. And I may have to bring that cutter up and down, so please bear with me. Okay, let's see what we've got. Perfect. And I'm going to be using a combination of glue stick and wet glue, depending on what pieces. This is just thin copy paper. I think we can get by with the glue stick, but the heavier pieces, of course, will have to do some wet glue. So as I was saying, this is a series I found sometime the beginning of this year, I guess, earlier part of the year, and just fell in love with it. Who doesn't like doing some collages and just, you know, randomly doing some creative makes? But it's a good way, as I always say, all these projects actually are, but especially collages are just a good way to just use up just bits and pieces. You know, you have a little piece here left over from a make and a little piece there left over from a make. You don't want to know what to do with it, but yet you don't want to throw it away. Perfect collage mix, you know, perfect. So if you have a lot of those scraps, things like that, this is a great series. Something like this, it doesn't have to be this series, but you know, things like this to make fun makes. Okay, let's see, do I want to come over this way with the green, maybe? What do you think? I'm gonna have to see. Cut that right there. And then cut that right there. Okay. We're just gonna do one side at a time, because I don't know if they're particularly exactly even. So we'll do it this way. And I'm thinking we'll flip-flop. Let's go see, this side's wider than that side. Okay, and then we have to go down to, and I'm going to leave a little bit of trim like I did on the top too, so kind of make it somewhat even. So is everybody ready for Christmas? I am, I guess, for the most part, except for preparing my meal. That's the only thing. And I haven't decided if I'm even cooking this year. And I told myself that for Thanksgiving, and I ended up cooking last minute. So I don't want to do that because it gets a little stressful, but I've been calling around here and see if there's anything open, and there's a few places, but nothing particularly that I really want to eat at, if you know what I mean. So I don't know. I have a ham. I did buy a ham, and I have that in the freezer, so I probably 75%, 80 will end up cooking, but oops, it's almost gone. But I haven't committed 100% yet. Okay, and I think we'll just go green down here since there's just this little bit left. So I'll cut that right there. And I'm not doing a great job getting it even, but hopefully with the other bits and pieces we'll make it work. If you know what I mean. Okay, so let's cut that there. And then I'll have to do the same with this side. So please hang in there with me, guys. We're going to make something pretty nice and festive. Here we go. Now for these collage makes, it is no time limit, no prompts or anything like that. The only thing is you just grab an old collage book, a crossword book, and collage around it, leaving the crossword portion open. And then for that, you give it a title within the blocks and give it a theme. You know, like today it's Christmas, but you know, whatever theme you want to do. So just a theme and a title. That's all you have to do. It's a lot of fun. So you may want to consider it if you haven't yet. All right, let's cut that one there. That one there. Then we get to the fun bits and find homes for all the little bits. That's the fun part. Building and creating your little story and your scene. Excuse me. That's the fun part. A couple more cuts here, see? Let's see. I'm just using my guillotine because I'm sure for those that are familiar, it's crazy how hard it is to cut a straight line sometimes, right? So it's easier just to have a little cutter. And I have some smaller ones, but I have to dig it out. And who wants to do that? Okay. Oops. Keep losing the little piece here. Let's see if I can do it this way. We're getting every bit of that glue. It's kind of nice. Okay, and then the last bit here. So cut it right about there. There. All right, one more time with the guillotine, and that's it, guys. All right, I'm going to attempt here, since it's just a short piece, I should be able to get it somewhat straight. Oop. Oops. Not too bad. I like the little angels and the bells. This was a paper digital kit that I got off of Etsy. If I can remember what shop it was. And we'll be glad to put that in the description box below for you if that's something that you're interested in. But it's just a vintage digital kit for Christmas, as you can see. Okay. I still got a couple pieces left over. So now let's pull in the fun bits and see what we can find. And as I'm creating, I have to think of a title to give it. That kind of gets a little lost. I guess it works a little bit better on the red. Looks kind of nice. That's got green, huh? So maybe we should do that on this side. Maybe this over here. Kind of like that. Got a little frosty that says "Let It Snow" and a Christmas tree that says "Merry Christmas." And these are just some little chipboard pieces. And I'm just going to move them around until I'm happy with the placement of them. Well, that says Frosty, so I guess Frosty needs to go over here, huh? I don't know if I like that, though. Let me... I don't know. Let's see. Kind of like that. Maybe that. Because we just have to leave enough open on the box to give it a title. So I don't think we need to save too much space if we tend to cover up some of the blocks. And his horns are all crooked. Trying to straighten those out a little bit. This is a die cut. Die cut. Oh, and this is a, excuse me, this is an old t-shirt that it's been laundered and cleaned, and of course, but it was starting to get kind of stretched out. So I cut it down into small pieces and stamped some Christmas sayings from my stamps blocks. And this one says, "Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet and Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away all." Maybe we can use that on there. Got a little snowman. I got to cut that out if I decide to use that. I've got a Merry Christmas, which we've already got Christmas cheer and holiday style, but this actually comes from the kit, I do believe, this one, because that's vintage, so maybe we should use that. And then just some other little bits and pieces. This says, he sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, he drove out of sight. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. That yellow is kind of throwing me off. I'm going to move that. Maybe I should have this over here, since it's talking about the reindeer. And have him that. This one says, as dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop, the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. So we need to put this one on this side. There. Got some holly, and then just some other little bits. Trying to spread it out so it'll look full, if you guys can't tell already. Trying to make it look a little bit fuller. Let's see what these pieces are. Trim that down. Christmas greetings. I've got this red flower right here. Might look nice right there. Like all these little white trimmings along the edges here. Just trying to trim those off. I like them all kind of offset, so I'm trying to just don't open till Christmas. want to put a, I'm thinking of like putting a brad in there and seeing if I have a brad. Excuse my head. And I don't. Okay. So we'll go back to that thought. Okay. Well, I definitely want, I think, this one in the corner and that one on the opposite side. So we'll start there. Okay, I like that. This one's a little thicker, so I'll use wet glue on this one. If it'll come out. There we go. Okay, I think I like that layout, so we'll go ahead with that. Put this in the middle. Give that a second to set. Okay, that's kind of full. I feel like it needs something though, overall. What do you guys think? Oh, I know what. It needs some glitter of some sort, something sparkly and shiny, right? I have plenty of glitter. Plenty, plenty. Should I put that there? Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll go and put this right here then. Okay. And what else? Reindeer. Okay. Try and straighten out his little crooked antlers here as best I can. There we go. Not too bad. Don't need any broken antlers. Okay. That's kind of full, but I don't feel like it needs something. Let me cut some of this white away. Didn't quite cut it all off. Thing about fussy cutting is when you get into real intricate pieces like this, you're trying to cut away the smallest piece of white background, and you end up destroying or tearing off, you know, like a piece of a leaf or something. So it gets really delicate, I guess you would say. Gotta be careful. So like when it comes to little bits like this, I always wait till the last minute so it doesn't break on me, if you know what I mean. So oops. Sure we all are familiar with the good old fussy cutting. And some of us like it more than others. I realize the fun part and the challenging part of it. So I can definitely relate to both sides. I don't think I'm going to mess with that little piece in there because I'm afraid it's going to break on me. So I'm just going to leave that. So we've already got one piece that's ready to fall off. Okay, let's see what else we can use. Do have this snowman. Don't know. What are your guys' Christmas traditions? Do you leave your Christmas tree up until New Year's? Do you take it down before the New Year? Do you take it down the day after Christmas? I know, well, I've heard of it before as well, but I have a friend, she literally leaves her Christmas tree up until they start decorating for St. Patrick's Day, which is in March. I love Christmas, but that's too much for me. I couldn't look at my tree for that long. I take mine down the day after Christmas, if I can. You know, depending on if I do like the after Christmas shopping, I'll go do that, and then it might be the day after, depending on how busy I get. But yeah, I pull mine down because I put it up day after Thanksgiving, and I take it down after the day after Christmas. So that's kind of my tradition. As they say, don't let the old year catch the new. As much as you can anyway, you know. That's kind of what I do. Okay, Frosty. Put him there. Looks like he's sitting on a little something there. And what else do we have? Don't open until Christmas. Put that there. We've got the Frosty. That blue's kind of throwing me off. Is it throwing you guys off? It's kind of nice though, isn't it? Let's see. Where do we want to put him? No, I think him. Okay. Okay, I like that. I guess just right up across the top. I guess that kind of stands out enough. We can definitely see it. It doesn't pop real boldly, but it can definitely be seen. So we'll go with it. Just throw that catty corner up there. Fill that little spot there. Okay, well, we almost used everything except for this, and that yellow is just definitely, or kind of goldish, it's definitely throwing me off, so I'm not going to use that one. We want a tree. I kind of filled all the spaces up though, didn't I? We could put it right there. Yeah, let's do that. Just a bunch of layering. That's what collaging is all about. I'm going to cover up my text though. Okay, and all I have left is my gold Santa. I mean my gold Frosty. And I don't really see room for that one that I like without covering up something else. So I'm not going to use that one. And we'll go ahead and use this. I think I'll put that over on this side. Since we've got a white piece over here, kind of balance it out. Okay, so yeah, we used, let's see, get all these scraps out of here. We used up everything except for this. These couple little pieces. Let's just discard that one, that little bit, and this Frosty. So to let it snow. We used up all the other ones. It's pretty full. What do you guys think? I like it. Very colorful. Okay, now I need to get a marker. We need to think of a title for this. And it's already Christmas themed, so we should just name it something like let's just do Christmas blessings to all. How about that? I think I can get Christmas right in that little thing here. Christmas. Yep. And you just write your title right inside like a crossword word. Christmas. And we'll have to put blessings on this line. Christmas blessings. I'm going to carry it over here. I'm going to put 2, 1, and all! Exclamation. I like it. Very colorful, very cheery, very, very holiday Christmas for sure. And that looks nice. All right, guys, what do you think? I'm going to call that one done. That is a nice Christmas collage. All right, so that's what I've got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so very much for stopping by my channel. I hope you stayed with me through to the end. If you found something of value, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I would love it. As always, take care. God bless. Merry Christmas to you and your friends and family. Stay safe, be happy, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.